The Soweto School that dominated headlines in July still doesn't have a permanent in-person principal. Parents brought teaching at Job Ratebe Junior Secondary School to its knees as they demanded the school's principal be removed due to chronic absenteeism. They also complained about collapsing infrastructure, having just 2 toilets to service nearly 1,000 pupils and a non-functioning library. eNCA senior journalist Aviwe Mtila revisited the school to see whether there's been any improvement.
The state of the only 2 toilets, 1 boys, 1 girls, at Job Ratebe Junior Secondary School in Soweto. The roofs and the windows are part of collapsing infrastructure. A task team within the community was set up in July following an uproar from parents. They wanted the principal removed, claiming she hadn't been at the school since early last year. Nosi Pontombela forms part of the task team looking into some of the allegations laid against the school.
We were never told ngeng status a principal. There were, Mr. Makakwa said Leon Tolo is private and confidential, but the issue lana like the mandate gatle begui ama toilet ni status a principal, but aguna next eyenzakalela aguna report ezwakalayo aguna into tangible ukuthi okay lese sizwile si helping asikho helping anix. If 14 days iphelile kuthe yonke into izoba right within 14 days.
This is the girls' toilets.
If you look in the toilets, in the cubicles, there aren't even waste bins. So, girl children have to go on their periods, they need to discard of their sanitary products, and there isn't even a facility or sanitary bins for them to discard of those products. So this is really, really, really under no circumstances acceptable.
The school's student governing body insists resources have been poured into fixing things.
1.9 million has been already used, but we see no work.
We've been trying so hard, to get the school fixed, but with failure, there's nothing that is happening. And another thing, the school was put on Section 25, of which the SGP hasn't started to do anything yet. As a parent and a concerned parent, I'm very concerned about the health of my child in this school.
This is the cost of the plumbing. It costs 623,649, and we continue to see toilets that are leaking. So definitely no value for money there, and definitely no proof of any work that's taken place. And this one is for building and maintenance, and you can see 896,459 was used. We continue to see the roofs, the gutters still not installed, the ceilings are leaking, the walls are leaking. Also again, brewing disaster there. And this one was for electrical work, and if you walk in the classrooms you'll still see that there are lights that are hanging off the ceiling, but a whopping 418,745 rand was used for that.
Steve Mabona from the Gauteng Education Department disputes this.
The general maintenance has been done. The only challenge that we have is the shoddy workmanship that we have experienced from the service provider. And we have instructed that the service provider must come back, working very closely with our infrastructure guys to say they need to come back and check on the work that we are not happy with.
There's a reason for the principal's absence, he says, which is claimed to be well over a year now.
No, the principal is off sick. If you are off sick, the labor laws allow you to be given space, to heal. Once you are back, if there are allegations, then they will have to be tested. Because there are allegations that they are putting on the table, which we said, well, on the return of the principal, we should be in a position to deal with that.
The promise in July was to provide clarity within 14 days. The new promise is to address infrastructure woes by the end of this week. But if the last set of assurances are anything to go by, we may be waiting a long while yet. Aviwe Mtila, Johannesburg.